Hey, what's up, dudes? Alright, here we are. Um, Back again. 3:50, very late. But we're gonna do another hour. Because, well, that's what we're supposed to do. Okay, so we gotta set our timer here. The royal we, that is. Alright, so timer is set to 68 minutes. Let's go ahead and smash that. Alright, so we stopped at line 268 in things to do. We finished the game file. I think, where did we left? 268. Alright, so let's go over here to 268 and okay, so we did locations, we finished the game, and we actually finished locations as well. So now we're gonna be on network. So let's do that one. Let's bring it up. Okay, let's go over here, open up network, bring it over to tab group number 1. Alright, this one's gonna be easy. I already know this is basically gonna be like this is not going to be anything that we need. I'm just going to look at this one. I'm not even going to write this one down. So we got network socket. That's created when they connect. Ports is static. Remote server IP address is created. Ooh, do we need to save that? The remote server IP address. So we don't actually use this. So this, what happened? Just the music there. Okay, it's just really quiet. Can't really hear it. Anyway, it's all good. So this is something that is not actually used yet because, well, we never deployed it. So let's see. Yeah, because we use the local server IP address. Okay. But the remote server IP address is going to be used for when people are not playing like couch co-op, when they are actually playing against one another online. Says the purpose is the remote server's IP address for use connecting the client to the server. Yeah, so this is just not used yet. What about the remote network endpoint? Where is that? Okay, I see. So we connect to the, if local is false, we would connect to the remote network endpoint. And the remote network endpoint consists of the remote server IP address and the port. Okay? So, the remote server IP address is going to be created. Like, obviously it's gonna have to be assigned, right? That's just something that's got to be done. I haven't actually got to that point yet. So, I'm just trying to think. Is this something we're gonna have to save? Well, so whenever we connect to the server, that's what we're going to connect to. It's going to be that IP address. How are we going to get that IP address? Well, it's going to be provided. It's going to be provided by, well, whatever like service we're using to host it. That has yet to be decided. We haven't done that yet, but that's on, like, you know, the list of things we're gonna have to do. So that would be assigned. I would say this is probably gonna end up being a static address, or like a address that is received, not something that needs to be like saved. But I don't know for sure. So I'm just gonna hold off on this. I'm just gonna put in a little note here, and we're just gonna put the date and some descriptor that tells us need to finish implementing this feature. Will this be static or variable? Will it need to be saved? Where will the code that handles this be located? Need to do. Yeah, so anyway, moving on. Alright, so that one, we're not sure right now. Next one, local server IP address. And this is like, this doesn't need to be saved at all because it just doesn't. So, remote network endpoint, that doesn't need to be saved. Well, actually, well, that's derivative of the static port and then the server IP address. So this is basically like derived, but it would need to be like reassigned because at this point the server IP address is just none. So really, this should more so be like a function, which would assign the local network endpoint. You know what I mean? Based on the newly assigned local server IP address. Well, actually, okay, I'm looking at the wrong one. This is the remote network endpoint. Yeah, after the remote server IP address is assigned, because currently this would just be none and then the port, and that's no good. So we would have to like reassign this. So let's put a note here for that. But does it need to be saved? Well, I don't really think so, but that's another, like, we don't really. Let's be static variable. We need to be saved. Where will the code that handles this be located? Need to do this. So what do we need to do? This will have to be reassigned since it is equal to none and then port ATM. Yeah. Yeah, and then we have the local network endpoint, and that is the local IP server address. So that doesn't need to be saved. I don't really think any of this stuff needs to be saved. We don't really know for these two, the remote server IP address and the remote network endpoint, but we will be able to determine this eventually. And we added our comment to make sure it gets handled. So let's just go ahead and we're gonna move forward. Moving along. I don't want to get caught up in that. Theme of Prontero, you know, that's my jam. Yeah, so that's pretty much it, right? We got connect, get client, and game ID. This is a function. Yeah, we're basically done here. Okay, yeah, so I would say no. We're not going to have anything that needs to be saved. Nothing here that needs to be saved. Yep, so this one is done. There we go. Making progress, dude. Let's go to the next file. The next file is going to be player. So let's go ahead and open that file up. I don't feel like doing this shit. Oh. Help me, help. I don't feel like doing this shit no more, bro. Alright, so we got a few here. Ooh, that's a lot, baby. Let's go ahead and... Well, I don't think I needed to do that, actually, because the way that I do this is, it's basically going to nullify that. Yeah. Dummy. Alright, so let's copy all this. Or not copy. Let's, work some magic out, and of course it doesn't travel with the cursor, because why would it? Like, why would it not? Silly. And then we can, this should just be bam 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 bam. Oh, you know what? I actually can, like this. Well, hold up. Maybe, actually, no, I can't. I'm tripping. Alright, let's go ahead and highlight all these bad boys. Oh, man, that's a lot. That's more than I thought, honestly. I didn't realize. Because I'm dumb, dude. I didn't think it was that much. So let's go ahead and do the magic on this one as well. Okay, I gotta remove these cursors, actually. There we go. Yeah, it's not infringing upon the name. Okay, so now we have some that are a little different. Like this bad boy here. Why does that not work like I want it to? You know what? I'm being extra right now. I'm just gonna go ahead and not be an idiot. Let's just do this a little more intelligently. There we go. Get that shit out of here, dude. Get that shit out of here, bro. Yes. Now. Now. Well, actually. Bitch. Okay, here we go. Bam. Bam, bam, wham. Is that it? Did I do it? I don't know why that one was so wonky. You know? It was wonky. I don't know why. But it was. Okay. C1. I seen you. I seen you. Okay. See if there's any more. Alright, entered name bool. There it is. Enter name num. ID name. Under draw card. Under draw card val. I saw it already. Where'd it go? There it is. Skeleton draw card. I don't feel like doing this shit, bro. I'm done. I just don't, you know? I'm burnt out on this project. Burnout, dude. Skeleton draw card, but it must be finished, so just deal with it. Deal with it. This adder is not used at all on CS, therefore only run if this is SS or CS. Ah, interesting. Interesting. Okay. I can believe that. I can believe it. That is helpful, actually, for what we're doing. That means basically we're not going to need to save these. Badland temp meld list ref black 3 meld ref hand. I already saw that one. There we go. Hand wild cards ref list. You see it? I don't see it. Where is it? Hand wild card ref list. It's not there. Yeah, it's not there. So that one's got to be added. See that? Slipping, dude. Slipping, dude. So this would go after in the H's. Hand wild card. Like right there. Boom. Bada bing. Bada boom. What do we need to do? Okay, we need to add this because apparently it's missing, baby. It's missing from the list of attributes that are transferred. Which one is this? Hand wild cards ref list. It's not transferred. Yeah, ref lists are not transferred, right? I believe they are not. So this should be added to the non-transferred adders. Right on. Right on. Hand wildcard ref list, comma. Now, this is going to be a list. And it's going to be verified. Don't need to transfer. There we go. Alright, moving forward in life. Okay, where is it? Alright. Initial melded cards. Why do I already know this is... Oh, it is. Okay. Last set played cards ref. Len 2 temp melds ref. Matched in meld list. Melds Len 6 list. Play cards. Bitch. There it is. Play cards removed black 3's ref. Why is that name so long? Play cards wild cards ref. Play cards. Okay, there it is. Pre-sort play cards. You already know. Wait, it's not here. Yeah, it is. Red 3 meld. Reroute discard initial played cards. Finished round scores. There it is. Going out. Play cards. New. Ranks. Ref. Special case. Can't draw. When out concealed. What an asshole. Underscore has Canasta. Meld requirement. Under total score. Okay. And then properties count. Yeah, properties count as well. Draw a card. There it is. Something's itching me. Something's itching me. Something's making me itch, dude. Draw card. Next one is draw card Val. Meld requirement. Non-maxed out melds. Play score. Easy. Round score. Got it. Total score. There it is. And then P1 and P2. Well, I don't know if we can actually, like, we don't save the actual entire player, right? Yeah, we don't need to save that. Oh. Yeah, we don't need to save that. Don't watch me yawn. Why am I tired? Should I take a piece of gum, bro? You know, this shit just done deteriorated into straight sugar at this point. It's just basically sugar. It's been sitting in my little thing for so long. It's just like, it just turned into sugar. Tastes good though. Okay. Okay, that's it. Now we need to go through the list and figure out whether or not they need to be saved or not. So let's do this little magic thing I do. And then we'll do end space dash question mark because we need to know. Alright. So the hand. Oh god, this is giving me nightmares. Just like alright. Hand doesn't need to be saved. Okay. Well, I would say yes, certainly. Yeah, it needs to be saved. So, yeah, it's just going to be a skeleton version, obviously. It's not going to actually be the hand of cards. It's going to be a mimic replica of the hand using like a list of integers that are the cards IDs that are in the hand. So it's just like it's basically identifiers for each card in the hand. It's a lot less storage intensive, so it's faster to deal with. So this is going to be a yes. Melds, also same thing. Yes, we need to keep track of those. The name, I would say yeah, that needs to be saved. That's a no-brainer. Play cards, yes, that also. Pre-sort play cards, I would say yes. Red 3 meld, yep. Skeleton draw card. Okay, now we're getting into territory where I'm not so sure. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do real quick? There's this list right here we have of the ones that are not used on CS. And we're just gonna go ahead and put a no next to those because we know why. Oh, that's how you do that. Control Alt. That's how you move a file from one tab group to another. Control Alt left or Control Alt right. But that's not what I was trying to do. I was trying to do this. So Badland, this is gonna be a no. Let's go back to one. All right. So next one is. Oh, wait, the color doesn't hold. I see. I don't know why it changed. Black 3 meld ref is not use it all on CS, so we don't need to save it because we're only saving from CS, right? That makes sense. Changed from Durcheck. No, we're looking for the next one, which is going to be initial melded cards. I don't know why there's a large gap here. That's going to be no. Last set played cards ref. Alright, no as well. Len to temp melds ref. That's no. Matched in meld list is no. Melds Len 6 list. Also gonna be a negative on that. And then what else we got going on? Play cards removed black 3's ref. That's a negative. Now we got play cards wild cards ref. This is also no. And then reroute discard initial played cards is no. Let's go over here and see if there's any more. Okay, looks like that's gonna be it. Cool. I gotta go take a piss, so I'll be right back. I'll be back in a second. I'm leaning. Yeah, I gotta lean. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Had to go use the potty real quick, and okay. So where are we at here? All right, changed from dirt check. That's gonna be okay. Well, let me not assume, but I'm thinking this is almost certainly gonna be a no, a negative, and this is associated with player. So we need to find player. Change from dirt check. We don't even like. This is not even something that's used. Do we even? This is not even a thing. It's not even. This is not even an attribute, my dude. It doesn't exist. Yeah, this is not even a thing. So we can just get rid of this. That was some dead code. Rest in peace. Change attribute list. So the player, am I in the right file here? Player, change attribute list. Okay, so apparently times have changed since we last dealt with this. I don't remember. Player being associated with okay, so that's the old version, I suppose. We're dealing with from change attribute list import C1. Yeah, this is not the attribute though. Oh, my fucking knee is hurting, dude. Okay, so we got sub ID, name, change attribute list. Let's see what you did with this range. I love it. I love it, dude. What is this? 1 hour of epic. That's dope. Okay. Fire, yeah. Bitch. Alright, see this here right here? That's dead code, baby. That doesn't exist anymore. Get it out of here. Don't want to see it ever again. Draw card. Okay, now this one I do know is a thing. It's actually the real deal. In progression, P1 draw card. Okay, so this is when it's received. Okay. Then we have progression and player. Those two are going to be are going to determine whether or not we need to save this or not. So draw card. Let's see. Skeleton, draw card, draw card, draw card. Val. Okay, so this is a calculated property. There it is. There's the setter. Okie dokie. So, does this need to be saved? I would say... Oh, we're actually supposed to be on skeleton draw card. I skipped one. Sorry. Okay. We skipped one. I don't know how I did that. Okay, I see what I did. Yeah, we need to do skeleton draw card first. So skeleton draw card and draw card are basically they're derivative of one another. Like they're I gotta be careful here, make sure I do this correctly. So skeleton draw card, we receive it, we assign, when we receive it in that namespace, we literally just assign it. We actually don't, like, handle it. Oh, and this might be another one of those dead objects. Remember how we determined that the other skeleton, it's funny, skeleton is dead. Skeleton objects are now dead since we did our refactoring of these sections. So, with that being said, we have probably, like, we don't actually use skeleton draw card. You know what I mean? We use the namespace. We went through this the other day with the other skeleton objects. The skeleton version of the self-draw card, which will consist of its ID. Yeah, but we don't actually... You see? We just use a string called skeleton draw card, but as a matter of fact, the attribute called skeleton draw card is never used. Kind of suspicious, eh? Suspicious, eh? Yo, it's dead. We don't need it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna delicately fix this code here. So let's see, elif adder name string is equal to skeleton draw card, and what we're gonna do is we're going to change this to just be draw card. How you like that? So let me think this through, because this is a big change. I mean, it's a small change, but every small change is a big change in coding. You just have to be real careful. One letter can break your entire project. It's true. Your entire program. Elif adder name string is equal to skeleton draw card. So it's received in the namespace of the adder name string skeleton draw card. So what we're going to do is we're just going to change this to just say draw card, as you might have expected. And then this is no longer and you know what, do we actually, I feel like since we did what we did here, we could probably include this in the else, because this accounts for like generic attributes that are, I don't really know exactly how to describe it, but basically what ends up happening is we just literally call set adder on it, and then we pass in the object and the adder name string, because the adder name string directly corresponds to the object being assigned. So like, since there was the skeleton prefix attached to draw card, it wouldn't have worked here. But now that we don't have the skeleton prefix and the adder name string directly corresponds to the object name, we could actually use, oh, you see we have this. This is gonna be dead code too. Anyway, set adder object, adder name string, receive data. Yeah, I think we're just gonna be able to. I think we can use this else. I kind of want to take a second and so in this case it would go else, because the adder name string would not be accounted for here because we're going to delete that. And then it's going to say apply data is equal to true if dirstring is equal to game, and in this case dirstring would not be game, it would be player, because we're dealing with the player file, right? Yeah, this is a player attribute. and so it wouldn't enter into this. It would go down here, and then it would say if apply data is equal to true, which it would be true still, then we would enter into here. Dirstr is equal to player. We would say the is instance object is equal to player, and the object is equal to player object, which should be proper. Either Dirstr is equal to game, which it wouldn't enter that. It would then go down to if has adder is instance object adder name string. So this is a special case scenario right here. This is for if first condition is false, then breaks out of and statement, avoiding attribute error from second condition. Do not change. First checks to see if class object possesses attribute. Check to see if it's also a property. This is to specially handle property object assignments exposed to regular instance adder assignments. Gotcha, that's what I thought. So it should enter into else. If the attribute is not a property, we can directly set the attribute without worrying about circular sends. If attribute SS, so it would go to else because we're working from the client side. Then it would set the adder of the object, which would be the player object, and the adder name string would be draw card, and then it would set it to whatever the received data was. But that's not true. That's not right, because it's specially handled. It is, because we have to use the card group dictionary. So I'm tripping. This actually has to stay here because it is a special it is specially handled still, despite not having skeleton in the namespace, which is fine. So we'll just leave that. That's okay. So now this, though, is going to be changed to just draw card, because they are excluded from this list. Well, actually, they shouldn't even be included here because draw card is a player attribute, and this is only for game attributes. So this shouldn't even be included here. I don't like the Oxford comma, baby. I don't like them. It's blasphemy. Get it out of here. Right, so now we got player. So now skeleton draw card. This is going to be changed to just draw card, because there is no such thing as yeah, there is no such thing as skeleton draw card. So this should be first MNPLPR and then R, so it's alphabetical. What's this say? Modify, change to be internal value for associated calculated property for the purpose of updating self skeleton draw card, but we don't actually have that anymore. Self draw card, none. Draw card val. Okay, so does this mean we still need the do we actually need this internal value? I think we do still need it. But now we can completely delete this. There is no more skeleton attributes. That was the last one. So it's out of here. Rest in peace. So now this draw card setter is instead just going to transfer it in the terms of draw card, So remember that other section where we removed skeleton from it? The adder name string? Now the adder name string is going to be expecting draw card, and this is what sets it to draw card. So there you go. That's it. That's all we needed to do. So now we can go over here, and skeleton draw card does indeed not exist. It doesn't exist anymore. So this is gone. Cool. Alright, draw card itself. Now we're back to draw card. Let's see what we got going on here. Okie dokie. We just looked at that. Draw card is int, and this is all jacked up now. There it goes. Card is property. Internal. Okay. So, yep, it's calculated property. We already know that. Okay, so does it need to be saved? Well, I don't know. Let's find out. So I know that it gets transferred and all. But, you know, do we actually need to have it? Because if it's not actually used on the client side, you know what that means? Well, you know what? That means we don't need to transfer it at all. Yeah. If it's not even if it's not even used on the client side, I don't think we need to transfer it, and I don't believe we do. Because this says draw card is equal to game clicked card, right? And click card comes from event handler on the client side. Once they click their card, it gets transferred over here to the server side, and then it just basically transfers that data over to a new namespace called P1 draw card or P2 draw card, and then it creates this string which gets sent to the client. But like the client doesn't need this so far. Like the client doesn't care what the draw card is. It has no. Why would it need that? It doesn't. The server side does, and the server side would have it because it's assigned on the server side right here. So, draw card. And this is all relying on server side data, and yeah, we don't. None of this pertains to the client side. And I was just thinking about the logic of handling this on the server side. Like, i.e., does this need to be saved because the server side uses it? And, like, what if it... Well, if the server crashed, that's a whole different thing. We're just not really taking care of that right now. We're just worried about client-side reconnect. So I'm not even going to, like, go down that road. But from a client-side perspective, it doesn't care about this. So none of this is necessary. We have this being reset back to none. And, yeah, none of that is needed on the client side. So you know what? We don't even need to send it at all. Draw card does not need to be transferred whatsoever. So this entire section can literally get deleted. This draw card right here, we don't actually need it. Well, actually, what about the draw card val? Because we might, what if we need draw card val on the client side? I don't think we do, but if we did, that would require us to use the draw card because we check it. So this is executed in player, draw card val, but it seems like it's only executed from the progression, which is server side, dude. You know what that means, right? That means we don't need, that means it's not needed on the client side, which means we don't need to transfer it. So we can just get rid of that completely. Yeah, and I'm like fairly confident in that because I got really good at this transferred. Yeah, this is not transferred anymore. We verified that it does need to be transferred. Well, that's wrong. It doesn't need to be transferred. I just checked it. It doesn't. Yeah, don't. Yeah, see, I had it on both lists. Look at that. I had it on the transferred list as verified needs to be transferred. And then I also had it on the non-transferred adders. That's funny. Oh, you know what? That's because it was skeleton. Verified does. So it doesn't. So it's gone. And then non-transferred adders is, yeah, draw card. And it's a property. Yeah, it is a property. Okay. So it doesn't, it's actually not going to be a property now, though. It's just going to be an actual card object. There is no going to be, there's no transfer of data, so it doesn't need to be skeletonized or like any of that shit. It's literally just a regular object now, not a property. So we're going to get rid of the property and all that. Draw card. So see, we needed this time stamp because we transferred it, but now that we don't need that anymore. So we're just moving forward. We have draw card val. Change to be interval value for the associated calculated property for the purpose of updating self draw card. Well, that's gone. We don't. So this is just gonna be a straight up just the draw card. Modified 5, 12, 25. And it's just a type of card. And then purpose is going to be the draw card for determining who goes first. Yep, very simple. Very straightforward. Draw card. This is not derivative. What line were we just working from? Okay, there we go. So this is not transfer, do not transfer, and it's not derivative of that. It's just a regular attribute now. So we can get rid of the entire draw card property because all that does is handle the transferring of the data. But now we don't need to do that because we don't transfer it anymore. How you like that? Just got rid of some code. Feels nice. Okay, we're done with that. So that one's not even in question anymore. It's not used. So draw card is not transferred. So it's not even used on the client side. Not used on CS at all. So let me just put a note here just so I remember that. Draw card not transferred, and we'll just put not used on CS at all. Verified doesn't need to be saved. Cool. Alright. Now we have the draw card val. This is probably not used on the draw card val property gets the rank. So this is basically just a function to get the draw card val from the draw card itself. And it's only used on the server side. Therefore, it's not it doesn't need to be transferred, nor does it need to be saved. Right? Yeah, I don't think it needs to be saved at all. Not used on CS at all. It's just like the other. Now we have the entered name bool. What is this? Use only in program prior to the draw one, initially false. So it's set to true, server side, and then it's set to false, and then it's checked. Yeah, so this is not use CS at all, so it doesn't need to be transferred. And let me add that note for draw card val and for say not used on CS at all. Verified doesn't need to be saved. And then the other one was entered name bool. So this one we're gonna copy this last little thing that says not used on CS at all. Verified doesn't need to be saved. Alright, enter name num. Not transferred, don't need to transfer. It is checked, and then it is sets to 0. So this is purely server side as well. So enter name num. We can also put verified not used on CS at all. Verified doesn't need to be saved. And then this would be no. Finished rounds scores. Let's see what we got going on here. Finished round scores is a list. The final round score for each round played. So it gets appended to in the round score function. It is used in total score to determine the total score. And we put it in a string. It is checked, but it is all server side. And like this isn't even used on the client side, so this is another one. So this would be not used on CS at all. Verified doesn't need to be saved. Again, a no. Now we have going out. It's a Boolean. It starts off as none. It's not transferred. It is checked in round score. It is assigned in when out check, and that's the only place. This one also is the same scenario. So this is verified, not used on CS at all. Verified, doesn't need to be saved. Hand wild cards ref list. So this gets appended to during inside of the append function whenever it's a wild card. But do we need it on the client side? So whenever we append to the hand, if it's a wild card, this is how the hand wild card ref list gets populated. But is it actually necessary to have it on the client side? It is checked if the length of it is greater than 0. If we're clearing the hand, then we would also clear the hand wildcard ref list. But if this ref list isn't used on the if it isn't used on the client side, and it starts off as just a list, right? So it wouldn't throw an error. It would clear it, but it starts off as just a list. Yeah, it's just a regular old list. It's nothing special. And then it's only used, it's iterated through on the server side. It's checked. All this is server side. Setup is not located here because it's not a custom append list instance. So I don't think we would need to, yeah, it's not even used on the client side. So that's another one. So we would just put verified don't need to transfer, and then paste it. Verified not used on CS at all. Verified doesn't need to be saved. I was adding bookmarks here to go back and fix these because I didn't do that correctly. I need to space them back out. So this needs to be 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, and then 4, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. So hand wildcard ref list. That doesn't need to be saved because it's not even used on the CS at all. Baby. Yeah. So this is a property. It's calculated. It's basically just a function. It is checked in round score, but it's only used in progression. Like, if it's not checked on the client, is it needed on the client? No. There's no reason we would need this on the client side. This is purely... This is another one where we can safely say it's doesn't oh, I see what I did. Alright. So, has Canasta is not used on CSRL verified, doesn't need to be saved. It's not used on client side whatsoever. So this is going to be no. ID. We're actually done. So we're going to put our stopped here. This is line 286. So we stopped at line number 286 in things to do. .txt. Great. The time is going to be 5 o'clock. So we got 1 hour and 10 minutes. We'll just say 1.25. This is to 4:58. And then we have 4:59 to 5 o'clock. Now we copy this. We go to terminal. We're at the root of the project directory. We check our branch. That is the correct branch. We do git commit -m double quotes, paste in our devlog message. There it's committed. We push to the cloud. There it's done. And now we can close this out and go back to the folder and enter into projects, copy this one. We already changed the title of that folder to reflect today's date. Delete those two, paste in the new one, and we enter into it to check if it's the right one. And of course it is the right one. So let's go ahead and exit out. There we go. That's it for today. I'm tired. I don't feel like coding anymore. Oh, sleepy. I want to go to sleep. It's too early. Anyway, so we're done. We're almost done. Well, not almost done, but we're like a third of the way through the player file. We only have like 4 more files left. Let's see exactly how many files we have. We have player. We're halfway through. And then we got progression. So that's 0. Reconnect logic 0, 0, 0, 0. So all this we're basically done. After player, progression has no attributes and stuff. It's only server side. Reconnect, same thing. Save logic, same thing. Server, same thing. Setup, same thing. So basically just player. So once we're done with this, we're just done. So we have like 15 more of these. That means I'll say like 2 minutes a piece, so that's like 30 minutes, and then we're done. We're done with this entire task, and we're moving on to the next task, which is going to be whatever the next task is, which is probably creating the logic for loading in all this data that's now being saved. So, or like skeletonizing it so that it will be saved properly, and then after that would be the logic that loads it in and assigns it. which is going to be pretty straightforward. It's basically just like this, what we're doing. Very straightforward stuff, so. Not necessarily easy, not necessarily hard, but just like mid, you know, mid level